Hey there, folks. I am back. I'm done my exams, and I'm glad to bring you today a game between Focus and Soccer. And hopefully, this is going to be a very good game. This is game one of the finals of Zotac this week, I believe. And this is going to be on Echo Isle. So, certainly, there's a lot of potential for these games. We're quite likely to see a dot play, I think, from Soccer, and I assume we'll see sort of standard play from Focus here. I've heard quite good things about this replay, and so I assume we'll be seeing a barracks go up here, yeah. So pretty standard play, or pretty standard openings from both sides. You'll notice Soccer's actually creeping out, or will be creeping out this top camp here, as opposed to the Merc camp, which is actually has been quite popular in recent days. Obviously, it's quite possible to bring in your Blade Master and do some creep jacking here, so that may be why Soccer's doing it. Also, I mean, you can't always just creep out this one camp, because if you do that, then you're then just so predictable that your opponent knows what you're doing without scouting, and so it's good just to switch things up every once in a while. And certainly, this isn't a terrible camp to creep anyways. So hopefully we're going to be seeing a pretty interesting game here from both sides. Demon Hunter and Blade Master both coming out now. Focus will be getting his first grunt out. We'll put him at 20 of 20 food, and this one barracks, or this one burrow will come out a bit late to bring out his next grunt, but by then he'll probably have just be starting to save up for his tech and whatnot. And we know it looks like Soccer is now starting his creeping here. He will be obviously taking a bit of damage before he eats that tree, but actually what he should be doing, I think it's possibly a bit delayed. He had possibly a delay or something, but he should be sort of, when he went to eat that tree, he should have probably gotten an extra little hit there. It's one of those small things that can make a difference, and if a Blade Master sort of runs all the way around or something and just runs straight to you, it can cause a bit of trouble, and getting in those extra hits can just get you one more kill. And meanwhile, it looks like a Voodoo Lounge going in the middle of the map here for Focus. Quite interesting play here. Obviously, Elf tends to really want to control this middle of the map, because they want to get out that Beastmaster at tier 2 and Tinker at tier 3. Assuming that is the strategy we will be seeing. I'm not 100% sure, but I assume it will be, at least. In Soccer, meanwhile, looks like he's going to go shopping here. I'm not sure what he's waiting for. Maybe he just wanted to see what the first item would be there and see if it was a circlet or something, he would buy it. But instead, it looks like he will just be moving on. Focus, meanwhile, is going to finish off this creeping. Does have a clause here, and will be moving out. And looks like Soccer actually chasing down this one grunt, but knows he won't be able to kill it before it gets back into the base, and knows there's much better things he can be doing at this time. And Focus, this is one of the weird things about building this Voodoo Launch in the middle of the base. It's that Focus needs to run all the way here just to start healing up, and meanwhile Soccer still waiting to see what's at this Merc camp here. A bit of a surprising way. Maybe he's just scouting out to see if Focus is going to try and creep out this creep. But surely if he sees Soccer here, he's not going to go for it. Soccer has bought another Gloves of Haste, actually. Really interesting play here by him. It's not something you see happen very frequently at all. Sometimes you see claws being bought or something like that, but Gloves of Haste, while being a nice item, certainly they're not the greatest item, and it looks like Focus actually did aggro the creeps, but he knows that he can actually kill it with that Blade Master around, because that Blade Master, or sorry, with the Demon Hunter around, because the Demon Hunter can just get a mana burn off to get that last little bit of damage on and steal the creep. So it looks like actually Soccer now buying a circlet as well, making really good use of this of the Merc camp, or sorry, of the marketplace, which is not something you see happen at all. Really interesting play here by Soccer, and I wonder if he's now going to try and creep up this creep now that's in the front. Even though these grunts are around, he might try and go for it nonetheless. And it looks like a Soccer, or Focus, meanwhile, actually is buying a Boots of Speed. So obviously, when you do play this type of strategy, Soccer actually taking a lot of damage here. Will he manage to get it? Oh no, he doesn't. Oh, that's really unfortunate. And looks like a Focus will come in and steal the creep. Oh, that's very bad luck there for Soccer. I wonder if there's a bit of delay or something, because that's a pretty unfortunate, a pretty bad move to make. And obviously he was planning on TPing out as soon as he got that kill, because it's so nice to be able to get that item, but and the experience actually. But I think he's just sort of 13 hit points short, and then that's really unfortunate for Soccer. It's going to really set him behind in this game. But as I was saying, if you do play this sort of dots build, you do end up having a lot of spare gold. Even with losing his Demon Hunter, buying all those items, Soccer still has 730 gold stocked up here, and so he can't afford to buy those items. It's a pretty interesting strategy, because it means that you're going to have less gold later on, and your gold does eventually catch up with you once you've bought 2 heroes from the tavern. And a very nice windwalk there by Focus. Actually, Focus playing tremendously well today. You can see And his tech is pretty close to being done now, but meanwhile Soccer's is already done. Got his Beastmaster out. He will be taking out this Voodoo Lance by the looks of things. He could be going to he could go wait for his Demon Hunter to come, and then go and harass Focus's base, which would be a really nice move because he could get there just as the Bestiary and Spirit Lounge are going up, and that sort of timing is always just so nice. If as a general rule, if you go at sort of the 5th dot of night, as you can see in the top here, to an Orc's base, that's generally when they're setting up their tech, assuming they've gone for a pretty quick build. And it looks like we are seeing a dot build here. This Ancient of Wind is going up, and you can see Soccer will be eating these trees so that he can put another Ancient of Wind here. This is a really common thing that elves do these days, just so that their base is really well defended. Unfortunately, it does leave this one little bit up, and actually have Soccer immediately staffing his Demon Hunter home because he uprooted this Ancient of War, but that is a bit of an odd move, I have to be honest. And just uprooting that Ancient of War, oh wow, so close there to being surrounded. But I think uprooting that Ancient of War was a pretty interesting decision. I don't think it was the best decision. Soccer, meanwhile, getting a block off on this one grunt will be able to do a whole bunch of damage, but it looks like Focus just turns around his grunts, and Soccer forced to run that archer away. And meanwhile, we are seeing a Torchy. Oh no, actually a Shadow Hunter coming out next for Focus. This is a really interesting choice. Generally, especially on Echo Isles, it's really nice to go for a Shadow Hunter second when you feel you've had a very good early game. Obviously, Focus has because that Demon Hunter did die, and you can go and Grubby used to do this a lot, where he would go for a Shadow Hunter second on Echo Isles, and just to go for you can literally just get as soon as it's out, get wards, and then run into your opponent's base with a bunch of grunts, with one Raider, one Spirit Walker for Spirit Link basically, and your opponent probably won't have Cyclone. Oh, definitely won't have Cyclone yet. But meanwhile, it looks like that isn't what Focus is doing here. He's just trying to get a good early game. Maybe play a bit differently, just because the creeping isn't as good here. And high level Tauren Chieftains are very good, but low levels aren't. And that height, unfortunately, gets negated by the critical strike by the Blademaster, who does now hit level 3. And that level 2 Windwalk is going to make him just so powerful. Because at level 2, you can really, with level 2 Windwalk, you can really just do so much scouting. You basically never have to pop out of Windwalk unless you want to, and it just allows you to have so much versatility. And Soccer picking up a late Berserker here. Generally, if you want to get a Berserker, you want to get it quite early, just because it's obviously it can do damage throughout, as opposed to just sort of having this late game damage. So I'm not exactly sure why Soccer is playing like he is today. Maybe it's maybe he just feels that he's had a pretty weak early game, or maybe it's a response to the Shadow Hunter. Maybe he wouldn't get it against a Tauren Chieftain, which would make sense, but against a Shadow Hunter he wants to be able to do more focusing damage, just because obviously Healing Wave would be it's going to be really nice. Or maybe it's because he's worried about Hex. Maybe he thinks that Hex is going to be reducing his damage output so much that the high damage output from the Berserker will be quite well needed. Whereas obviously with the Tauren Chieftain, you don't really lose the damage output, you just take a lot more damage on your dots. And it looks like there's one Berserker being focused down, and will actually be healed up, I imagine. And look at these dots just being saved in the base. Obviously it can be pretty dangerous, just in case a Raider runs in. You can lose one easily, and the Shadow Hunter can hex another one. But Focus doing some very nice creeping now just for a Shadow Hunter. Meanwhile, his Blademaster is just making sure that nothing is going to go Soccer's way. So very nice early gameplay. Soccer, meanwhile, buying this orb, another really gold intensive item. And it is surely restricting Soccer's production. Yeah, Soccer's still only at 34 food. Obviously, he will be getting his tier 3 tech. Yeah, his that tier 3 technology for dots is just finishing now. The master training will be done soon. And Focus runs in here. Very nice play here. Just steals that one. Must have been a clause, and then runs back out. Soccer being crapjack here quite badly. I think these Raiders will be able to do a whole bunch of damage, and Soccer with no Tinker yet will be in a bit of trouble here. Does fortunately have this Ancient of War, which will be able to take down this one Raider, but meanwhile it looks like he's going to be losing a couple dots, and losing early game dots is just so unfortunate. And I think this has been really strong play here from Focus all game through, and it looks like he will be managing to take out a couple more dots. Soccer will be doing some more damage with his Beastmaster. Obviously, Focus never tried to take down that Ancient of War, because it just has too many hit points, and it's really not worth it. You can just run around that Ancient of War, and it looks like this Demon Hunter will be taking a lot of damage. Soccer obviously does have his TP still, and will probably be forced to pop it unless he gets Hex. No, not enough mana for Hex, which would have actually been a really nice move, but looks like Focus actually didn't use any of his Wands of Illusion, which would have been a pretty nice thing to use, but Soccer did manage to get out there, and does actually have a fair few dots left, whereas he did manage to take down a whole bunch of Focus's units. Some really strong play there by Soccer, bringing him right back into this game, and it looks like these dots might manage to get off one more Cyclone, maybe. Obviously, you don't generally want to Cyclone Spirit Walkers, but in this case, it might be nice just to slow it down a bit and force Focus to keep all his army nearby. Meanwhile, Soccer getting a bit ambitious with this 1 dot, does get one Fairy Fire off before it dies, but looks like he might manage to get a Blade Master surround. Does have a greater invuln pot, but and no mana for Windwalk, so we're gonna have to see. He'll probably pop it. We'll have to see. No, actually, it does have enough mana for a Healing Wave as well. So this Blade Master isn't going to go down anytime soon. Does force the greater invulnerability potion to be used though, and Cyclone now being used on the Shadowhunter. This could go very, very badly for Focus. Obviously, ooh, just doesn't manage to make this round, and this Beastmaster now in a lot of trouble. Such an intense game here, and it looks like Soccer will be able to will be chasing down this Shadowhunter. He does get a mana burn off, and looks like that Shadowhunter will go down. The Beastmaster simultaneously goes down, or actually goes down as well, and it looks like that mana burn just taking out that Shadowhunter in time, even though it was only -8, it was just enough. And unfortunately, it looks like Focus now in a bit of a bad position. He's lost his level 3 hero compared to only a level 2 hero. Taverning it back though. Obviously, Shadowhunter not too good without mana, so a bit of a surprising decision there. And needs to be really careful to keep it out of the range of these dots. And it looks like this Blade Master could be trying to focus down. He will have enough mana for a Windwalk by the time he needs it, and so I don't think this is the best move by Soccer. He should really just be using bird form, I think, just to try and keep it keep those dots alive, and then maybe buy some